Hello everyone and welcome to version 2 of Turbo Trickery. You know what, let's even put the V2 there to confirm it. I want to talk about this deck quite a bit, and then we're going to play it. This is my increasingly optimized version of it, and I think there's still some room to tweak, but what I want to just first point out is what the main combo is. If you cast a 0 mana spell, and then you have Tibalt's Trickery counter that 0 mana spell, I start digging through my library until I find a different spell, and that casts automatically. So if I cast Tormod's Crypt, counter it with Tibalt's Trickery, and then it starts digging through my deck, digging, bam, Dream Trawler comes out on turn 2. Or bam, Genesis Ultimatum on turn 2, something like this, okay? That's the gist of it. However, let me move these Stonecoil Serpents away for a moment. Let me actually move them down here for a moment. There is some risk associated with countering your own Tormod's Crypt if you have other Tibalt's Trickeries in the deck. Again, if I use Tibalt's Trickery to counter Tormod's Crypt, it will dig through my deck and skip past other Tormod's Crypts, because again, Tibalt's Trickery says you have to cast a different spell than the one you countered. It'll skip past Tormod's Crypt, but if I hit another Tibalt's Trickery, crap. It'll cast that and then nothing will happen. There's nothing for it to counter, so it will fizzle. So how many good targets are there? Well, there's 4, 8, 12, skipping past this, 16, 20, 24, 26 with Turntimber Symbiosis. There's 26 good targets, 3 bad targets in the deck with what we have on the screen right now. So that's 3 out of 29 chance of something bad happening. Okay? So this is this number I thought about a lot in the initial versions, where I don't want to have too many 0 mana spells. I don't want to have too many 0 mana spells because I want to have that 3 out of 29 chance of whiffing / a 26 out of 29 chance of hitting. What's 26 out of 29? It's about 90%. It's about 90%. Okay? So first what I want to do is I want to put Stonecoil Serpent in. What does this mean? This means that if I use Tibalt's Trickery to counter one of my 0 mana spells, there's now 7 bad cards to hit in the deck. There's 4 of the other 0 cost and 3 Trickeries. Those are the 7 bad ones. And I still have 26 good ones. So that's now 7 out of 33, which is about an 80% chance. So hey, if you think about it, going from just the single target, I needed just Tormod's Crypt to counter with Tibalt's to pop off early, versus having double as many things that I could hit. Get this. I still wind up binking one of the juicy big spells 80% of the time. 80% of the time, 80% of the time. Now, I'm going to do some math for you. Okay, this math, I literally spent like 30 minutes, an hour last night doing the math with this. First question, question 1. What's the probability of having Tibalt's Trickery in your opening hand? Number 2, what's the chance of getting one of those 0 mana spells by turn 3 or 4? Number 3, what's the chance of popping off? And by popping off, I mean counter a 0 mana spell and get one of our juicy big things. Well, we know the third number, we just talked about it, that's about 80%. It's about 80%, 80%, 80%. Get this. What's the probability of getting a Tibalt's Trickery in your opening hand if you can keep mulliganing like crazy? If you mulligan up to 5 times, there is a 92% chance to have this in your opening hand. 92% if you're willing to mulligan up to 5 times. Okay? Isn't that an amazing number already? For any of you that don't know this, if you have a 4 of, there's a 40% chance it's in your opening hand, right? Which means, if you're willing to mulligan up to 5 times, it's a 92% chance to have it in your opening hand. So first number, 92% chance to have Tibalt's Trickery. And we know our third number is 80% chance to pop off. Here's the really important question in the middle. With 8 0 mana spells, what is the probability of getting one of our 0-mana spells early on. Here's an amazing number. If you have 8 0-mana spells, and I do have a Trickery in my hand, you know what the chance that one of the other 6 cards is a 0-mana spell? It's 60%. So 92% of the time, I have a Tibalt's Trickery in my opening hand, because I'm willing to mulligan down to 5. 60% of the time, I have one of these, and I can just cast my spell right away. And what if I don't? What if I don't have one of these 0-mana spells? Say I mulligan to 6, I have a Tibalt's Trickery and no 0-mana card. The chance of drawing a 0-mana card when I have 8 in my deck in the first 4 draws or so is actually around 50%. There's about a 50% chance that after I draw 4 times that I will hit a 0-mana card. And so we run a bunch of scry lands. Scry, to give me more opportunities to see the top card and put it at the bottom. So effectively by turn 3 or 4, I've gotten a chance to see 6 or so cards on the top of the deck, which bumps the probability over 60%. So what this means, adding this all together, 92% of the time, I can get this in my opening hand. Either by having it in my starting hand or by drawing it in my first 3 or 4 draw steps. This means that there is an 86% chance that I can do this combo by turn 3 or 4, assuming I have a Trickery in the hand. And then there's an 80% chance that it pops off. I multiplied all this shit together, and I got about a little above 60% chance of popping off with one of our huge-ass spells by turn 3. I know that was a long explanation, but just think about this. A little more than 60% chance of getting one of these juicy fucking things by turn 3 or 4. Okay? Now, there's a lot of probabilities that we haven't talked about, like, well, if you get there, what's the chance of winning? Because, like, say, if I just get a Koma out and my opponent has black, I don't have any more mana, they use a black kill spell to kill it. I'm fucked, right? I can lose. Also, I can not get the combo and still win. Okay? You not get the combo and still win. So it's really important to make sure that the cards that I hit are really good by themselves. Dream Trawler can discard cards to protect itself. Prismatic Bridge draws a good card every single turn, and there's not a lot of good ultra-cheap enchantment removal. Kiora, Best of Sea Gods summons a hex-proof dude, and then takes control of something. Koma can start summoning serpents, and then can begin to make itself indestructible and tap enemy mana. Look at this. Tap target permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated. Genesis Ultimatum to get a shitload, and also Ugin. So the deck runs 24 lands. It says 22, but we have 2. Turntimber Symbiosis, and we have almost no untapped lands at all. So again, about 60+% of the time, I can pop off by turn 3 or 4. And the funny thing is, Stonecoil Serpent has also been an amazing delay card for when I whiff, because I just spend all my mana to make it big. There it is. Mulligan once, keep 6, put this at the bottom. Okay. It's an Evolving Wilds. Hold full control. Green is actually the color that we want after we have the red. So we're going to cast a Serpent for 0. Confirm 0. And then we're going to counter this. 7 bad cards in the deck. And generally speaking, there's 7 bad cards in the deck. And there's 26 good cards in the deck. We have 2 of the good cards, so the probability is a little worse. But sometimes we have these, the bad cards in our hand. So it averages out. So, there it is. Let's cast this. And there it is. Great. Lockwat says, is someone tracking the stats so we can say how many times Day 9 hits the combo by turn 4? I want to see how close to 60% it ends up being. Well, I can hit the... definitely cast this. This is this and this is whatever 0.92 times 0.86 is. If you can figure out 0.92 times 0.86, that's the chance of being able to do it on turn 2. But the chance of being able to do it and hit some good shit is 0.92 times 0.8. Well, it's like 0.8 to 0.86, somewhere in that range, times 0.8. Because there's about an 80% chance of hitting a good card. I think it's like 79 a little bit. Alright, we have some white manas. White is dangerous for us because white is good at hitting enchantments. Alright, I'm the best player here. TC Tiger says, does that include with the lands too? Well, this skips past lands, so for the sake of computing the probability... And by the way, anyone feel free to ask any questions about the probability. Feel free to point out ways in which I made a mistake, things like that. All that's great. All that's great. But, lands, because this skips past lands, they effectively are not in the deck. Lockwat says, I will track the hit the good shit stat. You're currently 1 for 1. Day Crablar. That crab is so good. I hate how this is a deck. I want to give a shout out. Oh, who was it yesterday? Oh my god, that had a computer simulation run for a while and suggest that this deck would benefit from multiple copies. Anyone remember who that was? Oh, it was Mecha Sasquatch. Wonderful. Thanks, Mecha Sasquatch. Your, oh, that's a great card. I'll talk about why this is a great card in a moment. Mecha Sasquatch is the first one who suggested to us to try out 4 copies of Stonecoil Serpent and 4 copies of Tormod's Crypt. And Mecha Sasquatch was doing a numerical analysis approach, which is basically you have a computer simulation, run a bunch of shit with you, the programmer. Oh yeah, that's right. Whatever. With you, the programmer, specifying stuff very, very, very precisely. Which is obviously prone to errors and issues and concerns with, were my assumptions bad? Was I maybe going down a route that I shouldn't have gone down, etc., etc., etc. So this inspired me to do the numerical approach. Now, if you have, not the numerical approach, the actual combinatorial approach. Numerical analysis is make a fucking computer, run a bunch of simulations and do it. The combinatorial approach is actually think about all the combinations and do a bunch of fucking math and on a piece of paper. And so this inspired me to go look at the actual combinatorial probabilities of shit going on. That's fine. You've done a good job. The World Tree is a super important card because after I hit in some, by some definition of the word hit, after I hit, World Tree will let me cast things like Prismatic Bridge, let me cast things like Dream Trawler. I don't think I want to. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I'm actually going to cycle this to get an extra point of damage in. So, something that can happen with this deck is that GP gets a sweeper. Blows up all my shit, right? Alright. This can happen, and this is where the World Tree comes in. World Tree is a really, really good card for letting me stabilize, right? So I now have 6 to be able to get Dream Trawler number 2. This is more annoying for a white-blue player to deal with. My opponent doesn't have enough mana to counter, unless there was, of course, a Mystic Dispute. Now, if we get another untapped land, we can start Koma-ing. I would rather not run the Prismatic Bridge out because my opponent, oops, has Brazen Borrowers to be able to bounce. It's white with a Yorion, so we expect Elspeth Conquers Death to be here. But yeah, when I did a lot of the probabilities for, hey, what's the chance of having a zero-coster in your hand when you have 2 targets, as in 4 Tormod's Crypts and 4 Serpents. That's about 60% chance of being in your hand once you have the Trickery. If you have, like, just 4 copies, it drops to, like, 36 or some percent. Oh, that's an incredible... I do not have a lot of untapped lands in this deck. Is there a deck list for this War Machine? It should be on your screen. So, because my opponent is tapped out, I'm going to go ahead and play this. All these generate mana of all colors. I'm going to play Kiora, Best the Sea God. Because, first of all, this is hexproof, so now I have 2 hexproofers on the board. How could my opponent deal with this? Well, my opponent could do a sweeper like Doomscar or some such thing. If my opponent does that, Kiora, Best of Sea God still taps all non-land permanents, such as this and this and this. So it's going to exile the Kiora, Best of Sea God. Fine. And again, you'll note this is why I didn't play Prismatic Bridge before, but played a Hexproofer. So as my opponent has... Who gives a fuck? Alright. Alright, I'm gonna read Serial's comment out loud. No one draws like day 9, top decks wins like day 9, then goes boasting and howling with joy like day 9. He's got cats and a pup and he's celebrating. My, what a guy. That day 9. I ran out of air. No one memes like day 9, makes nerds scream like day 9. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Mulligan. Again, 92% chance to hit the Trickery. And once we've hit the Trickery, there is a 60% chance that one of these other ones is the zero-cost card. We did not hit the zero-cost card. So now there is a 50 to 65% chance of getting the zero-cost card soon. I'm going to play this one first because this is an untapped land. So I want to play this one second. If I don't get it, I want to play this second if I do get it. Again, there's about a 65% chance if I get to see a lot of cards. So again, I've drawn twice. So here's me seeing third card. There it is. Right, like yeah, probability of the gathering. You're correct, Tricky Snake. Now, I won a game by going down to a 1-card keep. I had Tibalt's Trickery. And I knew that there was a 65% chance, after seeing 6 cards, that I would get the zero-coster. Ignoring, or actually not ignoring, assuming that, scries count as seeing a card and putting it on the bottom. Which is an accurate assumption. And so I just went land, serpent, land, and I got there. Alright, I want to confirm 0. So now, again, there's 7 bad ones in the deck. Tormod's Crypt is 1. That's good. Tormod's Crypt is out. And great, Kiora, Best of Sea God. Turn 2 against mono red. That's actually an incredibly good draw. We can actually just play the Stonecoil Serpent. This is the thing that I did not expect in this deck. I did not expect the Stonecoil Serpent to be such a consistent tool. That's so overpowering. Yeah, it's really good. This is a deck. This is a deck, friends. Red! Red! I'm absolutely taking this one, man. I'm taking the shit out of this. With Kiora best Esika. I mean, unless something better pops down, but all these are getting forcibly tapped. I'll do this. This minimizes the overall damage, and this can actually pump up more and more. I'm just going to do this for x equals 3. I was debating making it 4, but I think it's probably fine to just smash, steal something, smash again. I actually probably am not going to take this Heraldic Banner. Did you like my math? Did you like my math? I loved my math. I was into my math. What's this? Whenever another creature enters a battlefield. No, I'll take that one. That does seem like mine. Maybe I should have made this a 4x. Actually, I messed up. If I made this 4, my opponent dies. I should have shocked this in for a 4/4. I messed that up. And right after going, do you like my math? I literally just can't count. It's fucking fine. I don't really care. So if I swing, this has to be blocked, right? Probably going to be blocked by one of these. If I swing out, well, this has to be blocked. If this is blocked here, it's fine. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think I just do this. This is going into the face, right? This still looks like very possible to lose because I didn't make this a 4/4. Great. That's okay. Okay. It's time to cycle this. I doubt you'll be able to cast my cards. Okay. I want to do this, right? If my opponent has a 1-mana creature... Okay, it doesn't even matter. Well, if his opponent just threw, you block 2 and kill on the backswing? What do you mean? We were at... if you got a screenshot, that's easier to do. By the way, this game that we just looked at, we nearly lost. We nearly lost. Because I needed to shock in the Stonecoil at 4. I just needed to do that. So that's a little misplay. But let's assume that I was not able to shock in the Stonecoil Serpent. It had to be a 3/3. If that were the case, then there's a chance that we lose. Perfect. All right. Now, looks bad. After seeing 3 or 4 cards, or excuse me, after seeing 6 cards, including the Scries, there's about a 65% chance we get there. Oh, it's Scipio. Oh, Scipio, our friend from chat. I accidentally had a prediction open from last night. Okay, so we saw 2 cards, didn't get there. It's 3 cards, didn't get there. It's okay. Old growth troll, man. Hell yeah. Alright. Now we could just chump out, and that's totally fine. There is about, you know, again, 60-65% chance to get there after seeing 5 or 6 draws. But, however, that's also like 40% chance to whiff. So that's fine. Sometimes we whiff. There's other little probabilities that we're not even factoring in, such as, what about if I don't get the combo, but do get to turn 5, and I do wind up seeing something like... There it is. I do wind up seeing something like a... what's her name? Esika? She's the 3-cost god. We can, on turn 5, cast a 3-cost god and counter it. Alright. So... this is Scipio. Scipio's been a long-time viewer and supporter and regular of the Day 9 TV chat. Scipio's building what looks to be a competent mono-green list. But let's just get Ugin and just close this game out, huh? Oh, we fucking lose. Alright, we're gonna let Scipio kill him. Now, again, I want to stress something. There's probabilities we're ignoring. We're ignoring the probability of drawing Esika and then Tibalting her on turn 5, which would make there be 11 bad cards in the deck instead of 7. We're ignoring all of that stuff. We're ignoring things like when we pop off, dying anyways. Like what just happened. We're ignoring those as part of our computation. We're ignoring never getting to the combo and winning anyways. We're ignoring all that. So the 60% is not the probability of winning. That is a 60% probability of popping off by turn 4-ish. So we're 2-1 so far. We're 2-1, but we've hit the combo 3 times. So this is good enough. This is good enough. Because these cards don't matter. These are irrelevant to us. Scipio says, sorry for killing you. Scipio, you did nothing but prove that only you are capable of defeating this deck. Only viewers of Day 9 TV can possibly handle the juice that has been created by Day 9. Again, 60-65% chance of getting there and seeing it. And this is why we run 12 temples. Cerebral09 says, phrasing, dude. You know what the funny thing is? You said phrasing. I have no idea what I even said that could have been considered phrasing worthy. Oh, my use of the word juice? I stand by that. I stand by that use. The use of the juice. Larkin says, does keeping the 7-card hand change the probabilities of the combo drawing a useful card because we have them in the hand? Yeah, so the question here is... and sorry, Nick, I need to explain this. The question is, well, wait a minute, Sean, you were saying that with this combo, isn't it like 7... out of, isn't it 7 out of 33? Well, what about these 3 that are here? Doesn't that make it 7 out of 30? The long and short of it is, yeah, it's relevant. However, sometimes we will have extra of the bad cards in our hand too. And because sometimes we'll have the extra bad cards, this increases the chance of hitting. And if we have the good cards in our deck, that decreases our chances of hitting. Let me say it one more time. If we have good cards in our hand, this increases the probability of whiffing. If we have the bad cards in our hand, i.e. if our hand was Tormod's Crypt, Stonecoil Serpent, and Tibalt's Trickery, we have one of the cards we don't want to hit. We have one of the bad cards in our hand. If that's in our hand, that decreases our probability of whiffing. And so, the answer is that those probabilities average out. Oh, nice. They average out to where I don't need to consider them. And this is one of the weird things that happens in probability, where you're like, well, what if I draw 4 Trickeries in my hand? What if I draw, you know, tons of good stuff in my hand? What then? And the answer is it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's actually fine. Because sometimes you have it in your hand, or sometimes you have the stuff you want in your hand, sometimes you have the stuff you don't want in your hand. By the way, we cycle here because we still have a high probability of hitting another 0-coster. So it's more beneficial for us to cycle. Did I not tell you? Did I not tell you it was good to cycle? Okay. All right. So it's equivalent which one we want to cast, so we're going to go ahead and do this. Do you see the consistency? Alright, it's going to get rid of those. Damn. Alright. Again, this is a type of probability that we fully ignored. We fully don't give a damn about that. It's okay. So, on the counter, I believe it was Lock Watts who was tracking. So we're 4 or 5 of hits. Well, no, I guess we're 5 of 5 of hits, because we're defining a hit as casting Tibalt's Trickery and hitting something other than a Serpent, a Trickery, or a Tormod's Crypt. Do we call this Esika an outlier? The correct statement would be, we did not compute it at all. It's just not part of the computation. Because the computation that I shared, oh, fuck yeah. The computation that I was sharing is, what is the probability of casting Tibalt's Trickery by turn 4-ish and hitting one of our good cards? By the way, one of the reasons why I really like Stonecoil Serpent is that it's a good card. Yeah. This is for Randy. Hi, Randy. I wonder if Randy will see us. I mean, Randy in chat literally just typed, I'm at work, so stream is muted, but damn, Sean, you're looking awfully handsome today. Yeah, there you go, Randy. Don't get too excited, I didn't save the image. B-Town says, isn't Tormod the preferred Trickery target? Because Serpent can be a body if needed. Generally speaking, yes. Generally speaking, yes. I want to be countering... If I have the choice, counter the Crypt. At no point do I save the Stonecoil Serpent if I can combo. I always want... First priority is combo. The way in which this might change is, let's say, in my hand, I had Crypt, Serpent, Trickery. Because I have 3 Crypts in the hand, there's only 1 in the deck. So if I counter the Serpent, I avoid the other 3 Serpents, and there's only 1 Crypt and 3 Trickeries in the deck, so that's 4 whiffs. So in other words, depending upon what's in your graveyard, what's in your hand, you may want to prioritize the Serpent sometimes. Alright, we're closing and reopening. Johnny Pump says, any idea what causes the matchmaker to just draw like that? Well, I mean, it didn't lose us points, did it? Nice. I assume that what happens is there's multiple steps of communication in the network code. 2 people confirming to the server that they're ready to go, and then so the server creates the match and sends to us. I'm telling you, it's very consistent. Sends to the server that the match is good to go. So then we step into the match, and there's probably a confirmation that begins once the pairing has been done, and I would assume that our opponent maybe dropped on one of those, so the server keeps trying to get connection and then can't, and then dips. So this could conceivably happen if there's some space in between some of these commands. So for instance, if I was... I think we lose, because my opponent has counterspells. If they hit cancel after the server has said, okay, confirm match start. By the way, black and blue just owns us a lot of the time, because if I, like, Stonecoil Serpent into Tibalt's Trickery, and it just gets countered, I mean, we lose. Which is probably what's going to happen here. Amaranth says, what would you add as a sideboard to this deck for best of 3? No! Oh, actually, I know this. What my opponent's going to do is my opponent's going to wait until this resolves and then counter it. If they countered one of these 2, they would have annihilated 2 of my cards, but because they wait until this point, it means that they kind of guaranteed get to hit 3 cards. Dream Trawler is the choice against the mono blue deck. I would love a hexproof. Nothing makes sense to me anymore. Not Yalk says, that seems really risky because of Koma. I guess that's right. I guess that's right. Now, when Turntimber Symbiosis selected a creature, I selected Dream Trawler. I selected Dream Trawler because a Dream Trawler can get hexproof once it's on the battlefield. The Koma is targetable once it's on the battlefield. And Turntimber is not cast a creature, it's put a creature. So neither of them could have been countered anyways once the Turntimber Symbiosis resolved. Logs is Dan aggressively outperforming the math at 5 out of 5. I think it's 6 out of 6 right now. Anemone says, I just lost to your deck. Did you just lose to me, perhaps, Anemone? Mulligan. Got it. See, you want to say that it's an inconsistent deck. You want to say that it's inconsistent. But being at 7 cards is, for the most part, equivalent to being at 3 cards. And it's red, so we're going to get the combo off. I actually think I'm going to keep the Stonecoil Serpent, because Stonecoil Serpents can round out. Jantax's combo decks have traditionally been vulnerable to hand disruption. How do you feel about this, that in this deck? Oh, it isn't vulnerable to hand disruption. It gets absolutely schnauzered by disruption. Are you kidding me? It just gets torn to shreds. Like, they cast one duress and I'm instantly conceding. It's the worst. Oh my god, it's like not even close. Alright, resolve. Alright, 7 bad cards. Nice. Alright, got it. Yeah. Darth Erickson says, have you run into anyone on ladder playing this? I have. And I won because my opponent used slightly less cards. They were using Godzilla. And Godzilla is not so great. Because it's just an 8/8. It's not like a Dream Trawler that gains life and draws cards and protects itself. Cards. Shatter Skull. What? Okay. Like, I mean, we got a game, right? This is a game. So let's play our Serpents out. And we're thinking that we'll probably discard Kiora, Best to See God. This Bergstrider is a bit of an issue because when it enters the battlefield, it can tap this. I don't want it to, so I'm going to have to discard Kiora, Best to See God, which is fine. What card did our opponent just play on Bone Crusher? A card I've never heard of called Fire Giant's Fury. Target Giant gets trample, and when it deals combat damage, you exile a bunch from the top and have a turn to play him. Friend says that person didn't understand the Godzilla card and just thought it looked cool, probably. Well, actually, there's a little bit of sensibility to the hey, let's run Godzilla, because if you are digging for one of your other cards, it lets you cycle. I just think it's better to use the lands as the aggressive scrying tool. So Lawrence Skalds is discarding taps the Dream Trawler anyways. Well, this says if snow was spent to cast a spell, it doesn't untap, and my opponent has no snow. What? Never mind, this is fine. Gumdar says, okay, Day9, could you explain the Wombo combo you did at the start to put the Dream Trawler out? Yeah, for any of you just joining on Twitch, you cast a 0-mana spell. I then counter my 0-mana spell with this weird red counter spell called Tibalt's Trickery, which then causes me to have the ability to dig through my deck for something that's different than the one that I countered, and cast that for free. With some extra steps in there. I think we're just going to try to win on the Dream Trawler, so I'd rather have thicker threats. And plus these two things together threaten lethal. Basically spell polymorph, yeah. Blue Wall, our Swiss friend. little bit of a newer face around here, but has been regular AF the last 2 weeks. I'm doing great, Blue Wall. I've optimized this. Chromatic Orrery is kind of a funky inclusion. You ain't gonna hear me say it's a bad inclusion, but it's a wee bit funky. And I'll talk about Chromatic Orrery in a quick second when we take you a break to between these games. So I'm swinging with both because, I mean, my opponent has to block the Stonecoil Serpent. And I just want to reduce damage as much as humanly possible. I was about to say Dracoseth, and I remember that it rotated out. Dracoseth is an example of a real fringe, not good card in this. I did a lot of testing, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a break from gameplay, and we're going to analyze some of the potential includes. And this will help talk about the 26 Jin cards in our deck. We can block this. If this gets killed, that's fine. We suspect that it will not. Dream Trawler's just coming in the air. Oh, Lockwatts, that's right. I've hit 6 out of 6 casting by turn 4, but I did have another opportunity to do the good stuff. Yeah, see, this is how Loaf can win. Probably don't need the Tormod's Crypt. Oops. Almost whiffed that. Probably discard Kiora. We start making a historic version of the deck. Ellen Clutch, I'll probably be stuck on standard until standard begins to suck, and then I'll go to historic. And standard might literally not suck at all. So now I do let this through, because this is a potential way to win, which means that if I don't block, now Villain has to deal with 2 potential ways of ending the game. If I blocked, I am giving my opponent 3 damage of progress towards dealing with Esika. Okay, this is fine. Nice. So we've been on a tear. We lost games. I mean, only notably to one of our community, one of our own, Scipio. Scipio absolutely shat on us so hard, it really made me doubt myself. But really, it's only people that are day knights that can do that. So, when I initially showcased this deck, I primarily talked about the probabilities associated with running 8 zero-cost spells in addition to Tibalt's Trickery. And I also talked about the ratio. We have 22 lands, but technically, 2 of those spells are actually lands. Turntimber Symbiosis makes it 24. And then we have, in here, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 26 juicers. So 26 good ones. What I didn't spend any time talking about is what qualities made me select some of these. So let's do the bombs first, and then I'll do the lands next. So in terms of the bombs, Koma was the initial, wow, I really want this one, right? Koma is a spell that creates a 3/3 every single turn. And then, once I have those serpents out, I can begin sacking them to make Koma indestructible. Great, so it's a cool save. But more importantly, and I didn't realize this was more important, you can sack the serpents to tap target permanents. So on the opponent's upkeep, you can sack your serpents and tap their white mana down, preventing them from being able to cast a sweeper or any spell at all. So this is very, very good for disables and finishers. This is the all-star against aggro decks because it's automatically making 3/3s that protect your hero. So this is the really, really good one. And I want to think about the properties of this kind of card abstractly speaking, this card grows an advantage with no help. Okay? Grows an advantage with no help. Let's think about an alternate card like Vorinclex that I guess I don't own. Ah! 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 Vorin! Ah! Get fuck! Take a look at Vorinclex. Actually, I'm going to just hover like this. Trample Haste, and it has some other text that I'm just going to say don't fucking worry about. It's a 6/6 Trample Haster. This card doesn't grow in power all by itself. So imagine for a moment that my opponent plays a turn 1 and turn 3 Lovestruck Beast. So they have a 1/1 and a 5/5. They're good. They're totally good. The other text has to do with counters, putting counters on creatures or permanents and removing counters or creatures. Like, this doesn't grow in power by itself. Another great example, Yadaro. Yadaro is a Trample Haster. That's an 8/8. It doesn't grow in power. This generally could be good enough to get there, but if your opponent has a removal spell or a Banishing Light, even a bounce spell, even like a Brazen Borrower, it gets owned. So for this reason, I'm really interested in a card like Koma because it constantly grows in power, and this is very notable, it can protect itself. It can protect itself. So this is where Dream Trawler has started to become a real all-star. It's a card that grows in power over time because it's drawing me more and more cards. It can protect itself, and it gains life. So once I had Dream Trawlers and Komas in, Turntimber Symbiosis seemed like a good bomb to put in because it's both a land that if I hit, I have 8 incredibly good targets that I can hit. Genesis Ultimatum is a really obvious one. This can let me get more chances to put out my ultra good stuff, all of which are permanents. Kiora Sea God is another very, very, very good individual bomb that grows in power by itself. It's an 8/8 hexproof. This protects itself with hexproof, this protects itself with hexproof, this protects itself with indestructibility. It has that property of being able to protect itself right when it drops. But then also, tap all 9-land permanents target opponent controls, really slows the game down. Then third chapter, snatch some stuff. Massive power growth, right? And it creates 2 threats, a creature and an enchantment. I've sometimes gotten Kiora out, my opponent sweeps, and then Kiora snatches something really good from them. One of the weaker cards to hit is actually Ugin. Ugin is actually one of your weaker creatures, or weaker hits, because when it hits on turn 2, it doesn't protect itself, it doesn't grow in power. You actually have to keep it alive for like 3 turns. On turn 2, I hate getting this fucking card. It is really nice to hit on turn 3 or 4 versus an aggro deck. I still think it's sufficiently good. Now, there's a number of other potential considerations, like, I know people have been like, hey, what about Tibalt, Cosmic Imposter? Well, this says you may play cards exiled with Tibalt, Cosmic Imposter, and spend any mana to cast those spells. We have, like, no mana in this deck. We're doing shit on turn 3, so we have 3 mana. It doesn't really help. It has a -3 that exiles, and then it's useless. So this card is good if I have a lot of mana, which is not how we win this. So this is sort of justification for a lot of includes. There's cards that are a little bit on the fringe for me, like Garruk, Cursed Huntsman, summons, little dogies. But again, I'm more interested in much pricier, much more out of control good shit. By the way, another bomb, what's Esika for? See Prismatic Bridge at the beginning of your upkeep? Put a creature Planeswalker card from your deck onto the battlefield. I mean, it's just very, very plasmatic. And so that's the logic of those. What are some other considerations? See, to practice, what about Cragplate Baloth? A 6/6 with haste and hexproof? Yeah, hexproof is protected from removal. And then it's just a 6/6. You know, it's kind of like, eh. And also, we have really good cards in here. Like, Kiora Sea God is like an insanely good card when it lands. Like, fucking ridiculously bonkers. And so if we... Oh, we were going to talk about Chromatic Orrery, that's right. Oh, did I just put Esika on the bottom? Oh, I meant to put this guy on the bottom. I'm zoning out a little bit. Well, not zoning out, I'm just like reading chat, kind of drawing. Alright, we play the red one first. So we can hit our red lando. Alright. Again, 65% chance, because we've actually put 2 cards down on the bottom, so we've gotten 2 draw steps and 2 scries. So that's about 4 cards that we've gotten a chance to see. So Chromatic Orrery is a 7 mana. Got him. Chromatic Orrery is a really expensive artifact that generates a shitload of mana and lets me cast stuff of any color to get there. It's an interesting potential choice. It's an interesting potential choice. Because, for instance, if I hit a Chromatic Orrery off this Tormod's Crypt, then I could cast Genesis Ultimatum, I could cast Dream Trawler, stuff like this. So, by the way, this is... Alright, so, there we go. We hit it, but we might whiff. Uh-oh. Alright. We did it, we whiffed. We're dead on board. And now, since we have the combo in hand... Oh, it's Scipio again! Scipio! What up, Scipio? Hey! Get out of here, Scipio. By the way, you're getting comboed on turn 2, Scipio. Scipio's literally in Shallot right now. It's so funny. Well, I want to let you know, Scipio, we don't have a land. So there's still a chance, huh? So here's an interesting question. Is it better to keep the Stonecoil Serpent back? Or play it turn 1? I think it's strictly better to keep it back. Now, mono green does have ways to destroy enchantments, so... Could be a little bit of a pain. Could be a little bit of pain, but that's alright. We're going to be getting a creature planeswalker every turn. Troll. We did it. Can't be countered. Attacks each combat if able. Well, that's pretty good news. Seems good. Doesn't matter to us at all. There we go. Play the Stonecoil Serpent for 4. Oh, this is actually so cool. It's a green deck. 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 Whoops a goose. Alright. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the good shit right there. Now, one of the things to note about Esika, and why we like Esika quite a bit, Esika says other legendaries have vigilance and add 1 mana of any color. So we right now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have like a lot more mana than you might imagine. Lorna says, hope a lot of good things for you in 2021 as you did to me in 2020. Thanks from YouTube. What a wonderful note to write, Laura Tao. Well, thank you. You know what? We're already getting some wonderful stuff. We did a whole bunch of math last night. We flexed our math degree muscles. Vorinclex, not an issue. Not an issue at all. Okay. So here's what we do. We block this, do this. We are now going to gain Indestructible by sacrificing this and eat the Vorinclex for free. Shiro says, how's Kaldheim going today? Good. We have made a deck that pops off over 60% of the time. I'll keep this one. What? I should be able to cast this. Oh, that's right, this isn't legendary. Okay, yeah, why not? Let's get land. Scipio is valiantly staying in. Why did I swing with this one? Alright, we're whoopsie-derpsying. This should just eat this, huh? Alright. This is so good. Jan Ralderman has gifted us 5. To such excellent humans as... Quote me if I violated TOS. You got it. Kind of wanted to tap this down, because technically my opponent has an Ugin as a potential play, but we do have these Stonecoil Serpents. This thing is so cool. I love... Phyrexia is the best setting, really. I mean, look, this is disgusting. Look at this. This is so great. Dream Trawler, not legendary. Hello. Bam, bam. I mean, this is the business right here. Say so, we lose pathetically, and we win gloriously. We are consistent. We are. I mean, we're putting up losses. We're not. This isn't unlosable, but you know, it's good. Alright, we don't have the combo. We don't have the combo. We have the combo. You might have thought to yourself. Actually, let's just keep both of these, huh? I mean, it's like... Hey, Scipio, welcome back. Gotcha, Scipio. Gotcha good. Alright, Wildborn Preserver. Fine. Alright, let's do this. Let's make this green. Seems fine. And it's, yeah, I'll cast that. Oh, yeah, what's the dream hand for this? It would probably be Serpent, Crypt, Tibalt, Temple Pathway. This happens often. Like, frequently, I'll do this twice. We did it! Everybody figured it out! We made the dumbest deck possible. This is amazing. Lock Watts' Day 9 current stats, 6 out of 9 wins, 8 out of 9 hitting the combo by 4, 9 out of 10 successful results from the combo. That does sound high. That does sound high, but... Erudite Ogress seems to be running much better than last evening. Yeah, I did a lot of probability work, plus probability on different strategies. What's the probability of it happening twice? I must know. I don't fucking know. I'm not going to compute that. That's a great question. This deck's even funnier in Historic. Yeah, because, I mean, if you hit Ulamog, this... notice the text on this says, exile cards until you find a card with a different name, then cast that card. Which one do I want? I think I want this one. A green creature enters the battlefield. Just take this guy. Alright, let's... There it is! Alright. Yeah, let's cast Genesis Ultimatum. Yeah, this and this. Yeah, and then yeah. Okay. So, funny story. With the World Tree, this lets me make mana of any color. Now that I have all those lands out. Use this iteration to be mathematically optimized. For definitions of optimized. Optimize is often used to not mean having hit the optimum. Optimum is like the big one, right? The good shit. Got it. Turn 2. Optimize generally just means I made it a little better. Alright, so we're hitting this on turn 2. So we have optimized the deck. We have increased its frequency of hitting. For instance, we're going to be able to hit this person with them literally being black and not even having a chance to cast an Agonizing Remorse or something. We might whiff. Nah, I'm going to get a Genesis Ultimatum. I'll have this and this and this and this and this. Opportunity to act rashly is the time. It's just fucking so stupid, man. We absolutely increase the problem. Sorry, I'm trying to answer this question, but this is objectively hilarious. If the anchor is having a horrible day and just wanted to sit down to play some Magic and this happened, it's even funnier then. I mean, this is incredible. Alright, you're Rakdos. I don't know, maybe we're going to be up against, fucking Crocs. Ooh, that's very, very spooky. Alright, well, I think I'm going to discard one of the 2 Ugins in my hand. I think that's going to be the play. Alright. You know, I don't give a shit. I'm playing this and I'm, like, exiling the Crocs right away. Oh, that's just... I mean, this is the funniest thing that I think has ever happened. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to this start, and what we're gonna do is we're actually going to tap a permanent. Let's tap this black mana, because I definitely don't want any of that messing with me. Alright, so that resolves. Okay. Alright, so then I'm gonna go ahead and tap this mana. We don't want our opponent doing anything there. Like, I mean, again, if Anchor was just looking to have something good happen today, this is the funniest thing possible. Like, this is incredible. Alright, now, am I an asshole? I mean, you kind of wind up being with a deck like this. I'll play this and this. I'll keep one of those back since I have Trickery. And this and this. You know, we want to restock on Ugins. Alright, let's do this. Alright, now let's cast this and fucking counter it like this. I mean, this is horrible. This is the worst thing. I mean, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. But I feel like this is... What I'm actually doing is a public service. I'm showcasing what can go wrong with a card like... Actually, let's just go ahead and set this to X equals 5. This is our turn 4? It's turn 3? Like, this is... I'm sorry, the anchor. I want the anchor to know I didn't... It wasn't personal. It wasn't personal. But, fucking gotcha. That was our turn 4, because our opponent missed a land drop on turn 3. Yeah, no, so again, I don't think our deck is optimal, but it has been optimized since yesterday. And there it is. Let's just cast it on turn 2 again. The Anchor says, thanks for the thrashing of the year. I thought it might have been you, the Anchor 39. Now, the Anchor, if you're feeling a little frustrated, a little sheepish, I want to let you know. Let's get some catharsis for the Anchor. I knew it might have been you, the Anchor. I knew it might have been. I actually went into chat and typed in THE. Oh, what is this? Core Blade Master? That's like really cool. Let's do this. Now, we haven't missed a lot. I think this is going to be the miss. This feels... No, this was going to be another Genesis Ultimatum on turn 2. My apologies, I misunderstood. Yes, 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 yes. And funnily enough, we drew the final Tibalt's Trickery. Now, these are not legendary, so we just get 2 8/8s. He's not legendary, so we get 2 8/8s. Alright, well, I mean... Oh. Alright. Now, we don't have the combo at the start. We don't have the combo at the start of the game. We're going to have to do some digging for it, right? We're going to have to do some digging. But again, we've gotten a chance to see one card. Alright, well that's good. So we've seen 2 cards. Now we're going to have seen 3 cards. 2 scries to the bottom of the bin. Now, this is looking a little bit like a loss. Lockmeister says, I had a really tough week, but the joy you're bringing me right now more than makes up for it. Thanks. You got it, man. I'm here to help. I'm here to help with some bullshit, my friend. Albatross's 2 World Trees at the bottom is a bit risky. We have Esikas, we have 3 lands, so there's actually a lot of chances to get the mana we need to double Tibalt. Oh, look, it's one of these decks that's going to try to build up gradual value over time. Actually, maybe you're right. Maybe I did want 4th land. Maybe I did want 4th land. Untapped land, does it? Sure does. Ooh. I don't like this. We're gonna have to just draw it here, huh? Remember I was saying black decks tend to own us? This is why. Maybe our opponent doesn't actually understand the deck. I mean, you bink a Trickery, just straight up. Just straight up. Yeti Man says, I'm just getting into MTG and wondering if you had any advice for new players. Yeah, I would recommend downloading for free playing against AI, playing unranked, and just messing around a bunch. You get a lot of free cards. Almost anything you do, they give you free cards and stuff. You fool! Oh my god, you absolute fool! You have never seen this combo before, Marlang. Marlang's just like, wow, in terms of bad hands, this is maybe the worst hand I've ever seen. Is my opponent really going to try to make something random happen for me? Ugh. This is an educational show. It is Solisticism. It is. Marlang, Marlang, Marlang. Now, you know what would be so funny is if Marlang cast a Thought Distortion on us, so we had... Ah, fuck. Okay. Yeah, I mean, a black deck with removal, it's, you know... Alright, Marlang. Are you going to be punished or no? Ooh, this is good. This is good. This is for the sweat. Alright, there it is. Oh no, my graveyard. Now, I want to stress how many cards we've seen, right? 2 at the bottom. And, we got the chance to see 6. We could have even seen 7 with the Temple of Mystery. Please, please, bring it on. Now, we're not out of the woods. This is one of these cases that could be a little bit... This could be a little bit, you know, we maybe, if, like, for instance, we got an Ugin, we clear their board, and then it's our turn again. Or excuse me, it's their turn again, and then they just remove the Ugin. Like, this could absolutely happen. Oh, Marlang, Marlang, Marlang. I'm feeling a whiff here. I'm feeling a whiff. Nah, I'll get Genesis Ultimatum again. Hello! This and this, actually. This seems just fine. Alright, let's I want to scry. And if there's land on the top, I want to leave the land there. Great. This doesn't really affect the map. I'm just gonna play this. It's gonna enter tap. And then let's do this. Pay 0, confirm 0, trickery it again. Marlang, Marlang, Marlang. Don't you wish you discarded our Tibalt's Trickery? I'm not saying that we won the game. Not saying we've necessarily won the game. What I am saying is we worked pretty hard on the consistency side of this, and I think we've done a good job. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, Ugin's one of the worst ones to get. He just gets removed. Alright, this is all gone.
Silence.
Vivian. I would love one.
This is my paradise.
Now, if we get one untapped land, be it a Turntimber Symbiosis, or one of our pathways,
I'd like you to meet
we can just hard cast
Stumpy.
this thing. No, I guess I do need another blue source. Yeah, I put the world trees at the bottom. Probably a mistake, huh? Alright. And... okay. And this is one of the weird fringe benefits of this. You can totally get the 6/6 out. Oh. Oh, yeah. Now, if we draw one of our other 2 remaining world trees, this means that... Alright. Alright, my opponent now has no removal spells. Great. This means that all of these can generate any mana, so I can just cast a second Dream Trawler. Land is quite busy.
I call, and Ikoria answers.
I want to be really blunt. My goal is to get this card banned. That's my real goal. Do you realize how proud I would be if the popularity of this video got a card banned? And not even a good card. Not even a good card. Fucking Tibalt's Trickery. Let's run this up to Diamond. Blue Wall says, so I'm still new, so I don't understand how the deck is working. Can I read about it anywhere? Well, Blue Wall, this is a day 9 creation. And I'll explain it as follows. I'm going to explain, and there's going to be some exceptions to what I say. There's a card called Tibalt's Trickery, which is here. By the way, we have a combo again, and we can do it on turn 2. I'll ditch this one. Tibalt's Trickery lets us counter one of our own spells. Or let me try this again. Tibalt's Trickery, I counter a spell. Whoever spell I countered, they start revealing cards from the top of their deck until they reveal a different spell, and they cast it for free. So if I countered a Questing Beast with Tibalt's Trickery, it would become countered, and then my opponent would look through until they hit a card that was not a Questing Beast, and that would arbitrarily cast. So what I'm doing with this deck is instead of countering my opponent's, I am countering my own spell, Tormod's Crypt, and now because I've countered this, I need to dig through my library and cast something that isn't a Tormod's Crypt. And the first one that we're going to hit is this enormous enchantment that will give me an 8/8 Kraken. And so, you know, I'll discard the other Kiora Best Esika. That's pretty funny, huh? Probably actually take the Castle Lochthwain. And so that's the gist of it, right? And it's a 2-ish card combo. I need Tibalt's Trickery and a 0-mana spell to really make it go off. So what I've done is I've spent a bunch of effort review the number of cards. Alright. So it's a 2-ish card combo because I need Tibalt's Trickery and then one of my 0-mana cards, right? This is how we do it. Okay. And what I've done is a bunch of math and optimization to make this shit work with consistency. Alright. This is a really good one to have, because if we get one more land, we can wind up casting the Dream Trawler, which would be a real Jin card. Nice! Again, black does seem to be the really good one against us. Don't forget the Lochthwain. I mean, we can't even cast it. We need to get that 6th mana out so we can really hit him with the juice. Damn. Alright. Well, any land is basically win for us. Nice.
I have the right to choose.
This could be dramatic for us if the 7 comes out, you know?
You think too much.
Uh-oh.
I have no interest in fighting fair.
Now this in a way is actually one of the better cards we could have gotten, because Lily is going to want a -X/-X. So now Lily is many turns away. And this means that if I can just get a fucking land... Ah! We want the land, because we have the World Tree. The instant we draw a land, everything can produce black mana, which means I can start drawing with Castle Lochthwain. So we're in good shape now. This you got a -3/-3 this. Blue Wall says, thanks for taking the time to explain. It's highly appreciated. Yeah, well, LO. That I was able to just be like, oh, you're curious about how this works? Well, let me just explain it to you, and then it just, like, literally happened perfectly. Alright, we're not hitting those lands here, huh? It resolves. I need one more land to cast this. I need one more land. Nice. Look at this. We're both trying to kill him. Perfect. Okay. Alright, land! Land! Damn it, land! Land! Oh, each player sacrifices a creature. Nothing else? Perfect. Oh, thing of beauty. So now we can draw with Castle Lochthwain. I think it's not going to be enough unless we get, like, untapped land, Genesis Ultimatum. Or unless we get... Well, let's see what our opponent does. It's just like... Tibalt's Trickery has been banned. I'm like, oh, fuck! And that's it. We lost. So I will actually come back to what I was saying. Way at the start. Black really does counter this in a number of ways. Discarding and other things. They seriously? No, I don't think they banned it. I just said that because it's a funny thing to say. So we're going to close it and we're going to reopen it. And I think I kind of want to try to... Yes, please, launch. I kind of want to just try to play this until we bink Diamond. You know what I mean? Blue Wall says, Mulligan seems expensive. What would your advice be about it? Well, for this deck, here's the funny thing, Blue Wall. What we need is the 2-mana Trickery, a 0-mana spell, and 2 mana. That's it. We only really need 4 cards. In particular, we only really need the 2 cards. Because if I just draw some land a little bit... we get there. So I have won games with 1 card in hand. I have won games with just Tibalt's Trickery. And no land and nothing. I'm mulliganed all the way down. And so, if you're asking about, generally speaking, how should one mulligan in the game of Magic? Until you get some experience, I would just say, if you have 1 land or 6 land, mulligan. Other than that, keep. And then you'll start to learn situations where you have, like, 2 lands and only 4-cost spells. And you're like, I can't really cast anything, so this is not okay. What Doth Life says, turn 2 ramp, turn 3 results, revealing omniscience. God, you'd love to see it. Alright, we got it. Can we get... Oh? Okie Scoop, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Was that you in last game? Was that you? Alright, well, so Azorius is also a list that I think we should have some problems with. There's an Azorius tap-down deck, and then there's Azorius with counters. This is amazing. There's no... For some reason, I'm feeling bad about this one. I think this feels like the whiff to me. No, this is Ugin.
Ghost fire. My greatest.
Ghost fire. Now, Azorius really struggles to kill this once this is on the board. Because, I mean, it's like basically precisely banishing light. Precisely banishing light. Okay.
Has never stopped me.
Elspeth Conqueror's Death gets the Ugin too. I'm gonna say technically yes. However, I would disagree with the aspect of it, which is nice. Oops, I meant to decline that. Bam. I would note that the because it comes out on turn 2, it's going to take some turns to get there. Like, if I get it out on turn 2, often I can ult before my opponent's turn 5. A lovely play. I think this is an excellent play. Nice. This is gonna come in. Reyes is playing some good cards here, man. Some good shit. This is a good spot for us, regardless. Whoosh. Look at what a sophisticated deck from Reyes. You'll love to see it. Let's tap this. Sacrificing this. This game's about to get really stupid. What? Did I cancel it? Oh, man. Terrific. Great. Easy. Don't you love the tap down from Koma? Don't you just love it? Now, there is some chance that we just bink the Ugin. This seems fair to do. See what we get. Comes a Kraken. Or a Serpent, excuse me. Ah, you hate to see it. Okay. I mean, this is kind of good. Let's see if we can just get a land out, huh? My opponent did not want to sack to tap my Dream Trawler, which is good. There's a land. So in a moment's time, we will be able to cast the Ugin. Put a stop here. Nah, I don't think... well... I actually think this is high value. So we got 2 of these puppies now. Do you like seeing your friend Sean go the distance? Sacrifice to tap this. Great. And we'll put another stop right here. I absolutely love that. So we have to play this turn out very, very carefully. Alright. I have to -7 immediately. The reason I have to -7 immediately is because this can sacrifice and disable my activated abilities. So, but this allows me to just, for free, clear everything on the board. And as if our opponent was not already losing. I messed up. I needed to cycle the Ketria Triome. Our deck is so stupid. We still have an Ugin. Alright, who gives a shit about glass? Alright, so let's just get indestructibility till end of turn. In case my opponent has like a sweeper or something and was trying to bait. Well, I mean, this is pretty easy. This is going to get tapped down by my Koma, so.
Ghost fire, my greatest creation.
I mean, it's the game is. I mean, it's just really, really good. What about putting Midnight Clocks in the deck? Really, really dangerous to do. Really dangerous to do. Because again, like, if I put in a Midnight Clock, we run the risk of accidentally just casting it. Where'd the second Ugin come from? It's unclear. This deck has Ugins flying every which way, Olympian 05. Feels good to make a deck that's both really broken and really fun. Oh, I believe I forgot to do stuff here. I'll tap down the wall at end step. Well, not end step. We can use the new one, huh?
Endings are inevitable.
Tap down this, oops. Tap down this dual land here. Oh my god, we have another Genesis Ultimatum. That's like so fucking funny. That feels really funny. That feels like really, really funny. Man, it's like so fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Should have drawn Crypt to Tibalt. I'm low on cards, and having the Tormod's Crypt out is a really nice way to prevent some of the graveyard recursion from happening. Doomscar. You know what's so fucking funny? I'm gonna Tibalt's Trickery this. I actually used my red counter spell to fucking counter their shit. That's so funny. Oh my god, that's so good. It would have made like a glass casket come out, man. That is the funniest shit I've ever done. Oh my god. Oh my god, I literally used the red counter spell to counter the condition. That was intended. Alright, that looks good. Oh my god. Oh shit, that is just very, very funny. Oh my god. Oh. Alright. Let me knock on my neighbor's wall real fast. They're really, really loud. Alright, the beat stopped. That's good. I was sitting here cackling, and then I hear like thump, 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 thump. Oh my god. This is so good, man. This is Friday. It's Friday. People are getting ready for the weekend, including my neighbors who are blaring their Friday beats. I really like my neighbors a lot. It's not their fault the walls carry sound a little bit. Hold on. We're gonna hit the wall with the ball. There we go. All right. Green is the color. Now, there is an argument to be made that I never want to counter my opponent's counters. There is an argument to be made about this. Or, let me try this again. There's an argument to be made that I never want to Tibalt's Trickery by countering their thing and then countering. Oh, thank God, they waited till after end swing. Great. They actually might just cycle us to death here. Do we just die? Yeah. By the way, this is something that happened a number of times when I was testing out some other builds. Technically, you can counter Tibalt's Trickery with Tibalt's Trickery. Technically. But the problem is, I obviously need my opponent to do that. And if my opponent does it, I'm screwed. Right? So right now, the only way we win is if we get an untapped land so I can counter my own Esika. Alright, so that's the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, well, maybe we can buy a turn by doing this. My opponent's going to cycle, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if our opponent has a cycle, we lose. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9 is death. So if Sethariel gets us, then Sethariel gets us. Yeah, that's that. Easy. Easy. And that's the way it goes sometimes. That's the way it goes. So this was one of those times where we didn't get there. And that's going to go onto the excellent Lock Watts tracker list. And Blue Wall having a great night. Just gifting another 5 to us. Thanks, Blue Wall. Blue Wall's been with us all week. Through all the ups and all the downs. This is not it. Now, if I keep mulliganing, 92% chance that we get there. By after 5 mulligans. Alright. one for the road. Now, we have been playing for a while now. We have been playing for a bit of time. But this is like stupidly fun. This is it. This is the goodness. Now, you can only pray. You can only pray that somewhere out there, there's some kid who loves Magic, just getting into it, bought a couple packs, assembling a starter kit, and is like, awesome. This is a set I'm really excited about. I didn't buy during the last set because I heard about all this Omnath stuff, but you know what now? I'm investing about 20 packs. They build a deck. They use some of the old cards like Speaker of the Heavens, All-Side of Life's Bounty. And they're really excited about their mono-white life gain deck. You can only hope that this player is there. And then I show up. And then I show up and do something that makes them go, this is such a fucking stupid game. Like, you can only hope. You can only hope. Now, whether this works or not. By the way, I have a Tibalt's Trickery, so there's only 6 dead cards in the deck. So, Magma Dew. It's like, huh, what's gonna happen? What could possibly occur? And it's an Ugin. And he's, what the fuck? Spitting out his Mountain Dew all over his screen. Alright. I don't think that there's a 1-mana white counterspell, but what do I know? I'm running 4 2-mana red counterspells, so... Alright. What's my title? What's my title here? Edit stream info. Turbo Trickery.
To the essence of the multiverse.
Turbo Trickery combo Jank. Alright, cool. Should see the stream title updated to something that's a little bit more accurate as to what's going on. Temples are good. Because here's the thing. Right now, we're obviously in a good position. But I want to note, this is why Ugin can be a little tricky, because if my opponent just goes Banishing Light Pass, what do? We have a backup plan with Esika. Esika's like a perfect card as a backup plan in the deck, alongside the World Tree, because you can Esika and World Tree, and then you can start generating mana of any color, and then this allows you to cast your Genesis Ultimatums. Alright, Magma Dew currently is, it's unclear if what's dribbling down his face is the Mountain Dew that he spat out in shock, or the tears running down in between it for that sweet and salty flavor. There's a little red. It might be blood coming out of his nose. It's unclear. This has been a good turn for us, is all I'm saying. Maybe Magma Dew left the computer. That's good. If I were Magma Dew, I would walk away from the computer at a time like this. We call that practicing self-care. Let's go ahead and shoot Magma Dew in the face while he's off really taking care of himself a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and scry the top. This is actually a good pickup. Alright, there's another land. You got it. It resolves. Alright. The correct play is just keep plussing and shoot this in the face. Ellie Cat says is Sean a bully in disguise? It's a bad disguise. Yeah, you know, like I like making caricatures and making fun of the caricatures, because I mean, truth be told, I just don't. I'll hold it back for now. I like teasing the caricature, because I mean, you know, I don't want to be like, Magma Dew fucking sucks. LOL, Magma Dew's such a piece of shit. He's running mono white, which seems like a strong deck 3 days after the set drops. Ugh. Like I don't want to actually try to make this person feel like garbage. Now I say this after I cast Esika, counter her to make the magic keep flooding. Kiora, best to see God. That's the one. So this is why I always tend to go for goofiness, because when I was very, very young, I talked trash. Or I should say, like, tried to. I must have been, like, 14 or something. And the other person got upset, and I just felt so horrible. I felt so bad. Because there's a time, there's like you try to talk shit on someone, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to use the line I saw from Friends. You just, like, taking random stuff that came in when you're watching Nickelodeon, you try to vomit it out and get that domination, and sometimes the person pushes back. Nuh-uh. You know, or whatever biting remark a 13-year-old is capable of. Alright, I'm gonna tap that one. But what really feels bad is when you try to, like, you know, I'm playing Soul Calibur at the arcade, I beat some guy, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way you're ever gonna win if you play like that, and then, like, the child bursts into tears next to you, and you're suddenly just you just feel how mean you must have been. But, you know, let's not tell a lie. Making fun of stuff is incredibly fun. It's incredibly fun. I don't even mean in a mean way. Like, I like poking fun at myself. I like making fun of the idea of what Twitch chat is like, right? That's fun. And so I find that, like, if you try to overly, excessively caricature it, it can allow you to be silly and get that joy, but we're just making fun of a straw man as opposed to an actual person. Alright, well, this is not it. This is not it. This is not the one. This is not it. That'll do. I think we'll dunk that one back. Hang on to this. Thick, fatty rhino. Alright. There it is. I did the math, and the math says that if you keep one of these, 86% of the time you'll be able to cast your shit by turn 4-ish. What is this? Whenever each okay, this has some text that we don't ever need to read. Pay 0. Confirm. Cast this. Yes. Submit. Autopay. Now this could be the whiff. This could be the time when we whiff. There it is. There it is. We didn't get there. We didn't get there, and that's the way the cookie crumbles, you know, sometimes. That's okay. It's okay. We haven't had a lot of whiffs today. We haven't had a lot of whiffs. Now, when you think of a mono... Oh, my God. It's my arch nemesis, Duress. Whew. Oh. Ooh, I want to puke. If you, like, play mono red in best of 1, your win rate, we'll call it 55... Jesus. Oh, that's my chords. Let's call your win rate 55%. Alright, let's call your win rate 55%. How do you lose? Ah, it's a bad matchup. Ooh, I made a play error. Oh, I thought he had this in the hand, but I was wrong. He had that. Right, these are the kinds of phrases that you use. Can you foretell this, lass? No? How did this get cast? Oh, you were able to... Oh. Alright. Right, so this 55% win rate comes from a mix of bad matchups, or I had a mirror, so it was a coin flip, and yada, 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 yada. So you're happy to get 55% through a combination of the construction, the meta, and the gameplay. We take those. We take those. We absolutely do. What, are you kidding me? If I saw a $300 set of change lying on the ground, I wouldn't scoop that shit up into a bag and run off with it? I absolutely would, man. I'm taking that. Are you kidding me? If a bunch of GameStop stock fell off the back of a truck, that's absolutely going in my pocket, man. And that's the real Robin Hood right there. Oh my god, his jokes are so topical. We take this. We absolutely do. If we can hit diamond sooner, that's great. Anyways. Yeah, so our deck has what I believe is above a 50% win rate that involves our probabilities indicating that it should be about 62-ish% chance of successfully banking our combo and hitting a big dude. Have a good night, Blue Wall. Oh my god, collision. Justin. Says Day9's jokes should only be applied topically. Did I win? Is this a draw? Am I getting the W's? Oh, man. We don't take these. We're frustrated about that. Can we get the server instability bad enough to where it just gives us a win? Alright, it's frozen. I can do nothing. Alright, so let's take this. Click this. Right-click. Close. MTGA. Enter. Yeah, if you like any of my topical jokes, you should apply them directly to your forehead. Weren't we gambling on the outcome, Apo Koala? I just don't really want to quite right now. We have to be very deliberate about the time that we do the gambling, right? We really want to be careful. Okay. Because if we do it too often, it loses all meaning. It's like if you only eat ice cream. You get tired of that ice cream. It's like if... Alright, this will do. Well, we actually don't have the land. I'm actually going to mulligan again. This will be a nice educational moment for all of you, seeing you win with 3 cards in hand. There it is. Well, it appears that I've done it. Yeah, right. It's kind of like if you have a party. At some point, every social event pre-COVID degenerates to people looking at YouTube videos, but you don't want to only look at the stupid YouTube videos. That only lasts for like an hour. You have to choose just the right moments. Now, this is funny. This is enough mana to counter. And Luis Scott Vargas's Is It Flash list has been really making the rounds. Damn! Damn, they got us! Ugh! You hate to see it. Who are these black and blue players? Preventing my shit from hitting the battleground. Like, I would rather that be the way I lose than play mono red, think that I'm going to win, and then have my opponent heal for 10. And I'm like, oh, if only, oh, the draws, oh, I'm queuing up again. That was the funniest loss I've ever seen. That's amazing. Listen, if there's one way I can lose, it's hilariously. Alright. See what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Pieces. I don't think Tibalt's Trickery is getting banned before Showdown of the Skalds. Showdown of the Skalds is actually just like so good. I can't even believe it. Martin Yuzo was tweeting that if you cast Shepherd of the Flock onto Shepherd of the Flock onto your Skald, you just return it to the hand. Yeah, I'll hang on to that one for sure. 68% current win rate. Thanks, Lock Watts. Thank you a lot for that. Cultivate or something. Awesome, a god of the void. Alright, so what would I rather have? I think all things being equal, 6 bad cards in the deck, 26 good ones. Alright, that's good. We get the Prismatic Bridge out. That'll do just fine. Now, this is a Sultai list, so what I'd actually anticipate is that we'll put the Voyage counters on it. Yeah, Sultai does have a lot of enchantment destruction. It could be doomed, but there's also no white for Elspeth Conquers Death. What makes Showdown of the Skalds so good? First of all, it draws you 4 cards for 4. And every time you cast shit, it puts +1/+1 counters onto things. So what this means... okay, let me just... screw Showdown of the Skalds. We'll talk about that in between. Confirm 0, hold control. Let's cast this. Yeah. So far, so good. Let's see here. This is... you can sack it for a bunch. Okay, so this is... you can get extra mana for gods. Okay. Yeah, but Showdown of the Skalds, it draws you 4 cards, and then on the following turns... wait a fucking minute. Really? Whenever Esika's Chariot attacks, create a token that's a copy of target token you control? You mean like this target token I control? Let's tap all this shit. Yeah. Okay. Now you might be wondering, Sean, why do that one? Because it's going to get immediately cast by the Prismatic Bridge. This costs 3. So all this is coming back. This is 4, 5. Yeah, I think Alrund is maybe... well, no. This is
axiomatic structure of reality.
I think I just want this because I got an X equals 5, right?
Flexible.
I think this is it. Oh shit! But this is that is. I messed up. Whatever. I think I think it was still correct anyways. We lose the Prismatic Bridge, but I think we have to do it. I think we have to do it. All right.
You are too dangerous to roam free.
I didn't even see there was a World Tree. That's my bad. I just didn't even see that there was a World Tree. Yeah, I would have definitely taken this. I would have definitely taken this. We don't look like we're going to win. This looks a little pickly. This looks a little pickly. Hey, look, it's a World Tree.
My flames burn beyond.
I mean, like, land is just Jin for us. Like, absolute Jin.
Do not threaten.
I mean, I'm gonna keep shooting these things. Oof. That's a good draw. Because often, when I get one of my gigantic Mondo beaters onto the board, it turns into a situation where they have to spend so many resources to kill it. Should we take Kiora since it not do much for us when we hit? Kiora is actually maybe my number 2 strongest card to get. Koma is first. I think Kiora is number 2. I would have liked that one. It helps a little bit. Sell all cards from all graveyards. So this is a bit of a pickle. They cast Exiled with this. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. So this can now just become that card.
Surely you can handle a little pain.
We might not be winning this. But we might be winning this. Because, I mean, if we have one Ugin... So if I can get one of my... Actually... That's a pretty high probability of hitting Ugin. I need an Ugin X equals 7. Yeah. Just play this one. And put this one out.
I come bearing the wisdom of the ancients.
That'll do. Alright, looks like we got there. This gets all this out. My opponent can still play this shit. That's fine.
Don't try to follow.
Oh shit, I get that one back. Nice.
Creation.
Yep, I think I do want additional land here. 31 cards left. That is going to be a bit of an issue if I start running low on cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I will be able to go Koma, Stonecoil. Well, actually, I think I actually leave this one up to counter something frightening from my opponent. I think that's what I do. Ooh, Aphrodite the Console. What do you think about Immersturm Predator? Okay, let's look it up. Immersturm Predator. What does Immersturm Predator do? It's, well, first of all, I see that it's 4 mana instead of like 12. Yeah, I just don't think it's that. I don't think it's strong enough. What happened? What did my opponent cast? World Tree activation? Oh, well, nice. How many more World Trees does my opponent have? None? No more? Okay. So, x equals 5? 3, 4... Yeah, x equals 5. This is a wee bit why I kind of... This is a wee bit why I kind of want to have 4 Ugins in here. Okay.
And you will go lost to history.
Welcome back. So I think that I don't want a Genesis Ultimatum here, because I have 1, 2 Ugins there. If I'm in a pinch, I want a Genesis to get another Ugin out. See, this is totally fine. This is creatures gain Death Touch till end of turn. Is there a World Tree somewhere in here? Now, here's a question. Do I want to... No, I actually think that this is probably the right thing to do, where I confirm 0 and counter this. I think that this is the right play. The reason is, we don't exactly have a super dominating board right now. If I had a super dominating board, I'd leave the Tibalt's Trickery up to counter my opponent hilariously. I think this is good. Alright. We didn't do any super Jin stuff here. But you know we have Tormod's Crypt, which is highly relevant. I have such a hard time seeing if one of these is the World Tree with this alt art. Okay, so this could be the win. I don't even know what my opponent declared. Tap target permanent. That was a good match. That was a good match. Fortunately for us, our deck is amazing. And 3 more wins. 3 more wins. Oh yeah. You know, we've earned some food. We've earned some food. Alright, here we go. Do we hit or do we not? Doesn't this feel easy? Doesn't this feel just like straightforward and trivial? I love it. I love this. Sometimes we have good games. It's absolutely the truth. Sometimes we actually have legitimately awesome games. A lot of the times, this happens. We get a turn 2 Dream Trawler. It is black. They didn't have a chance to make us discard. If any of you want the deck list, my stream should have a cardboard live thing, like right here. You hover over, click that. You can just copy it. You don't even need to use your keyboard. I'm not sure which one I want to discard. There it is. This is a pretty useless land because I have a World Tree out. So I'll be discarding this in case of fire. Oh, it's an Angels deck. Okay. Well, this could be a little pickle for us. A little pressure on. Okay. A 5/5 flyer seems very, very good. This is actually quite tricky if my opponent just gets a 4/4 Angel up. Because then I can't really attack. But my opponent doesn't do that, and this is awesome. Oof. Alright. You know, these Stonecoil Serpents are obviously there as an activator for Tibalt's Trickery, but they sure do kick ass to just curve out, man. So now we actually have a tempo advantage. Original Admiral Skippy says, would shock lands be better in the deck than scry lands? So obviously in Standard we don't have access to any shock lands, but what about in Historic? I'm not really convinced. I'm not convinced of that. I think I do have to swing here. We need mana to work our way up. Perfect. We need mana to work our way up to the Ugins, which is the way that we really blow out our opponent. By double swinging, one of these is just going to eat, right? So double block, no matter what, I'm going to kill the Youthful Valkyrie. Terrific. Character Selection says, think about this from the other side. How would you counter this deck? Seems like options are run a control/tempo deck or hope that your opponent gets unlucky. It's any hand disruption, so duress, agonizing, remorse, anything. Anything. Or any counter spell. I mean, it's just, and I lose like fucking hard to that. Like to sort of like uncomfortably, dramatically hard to that. Beautiful. Drain the Magistrate, yeah, that owns us, that sort of thing. But I'm sorry, I got a little bit distracted. But Original Admiral Skippy was asking about, hey, what about... Oof. Was asking about Shockland versus Scryland. And I think the answer is, I think you do want the Scries very, very, very badly. Because it's more important that you just get the tempo. Untap land. Well, I think we're actually probably going to take a bit of a beating here. I think this is the one I ditch. These two will win the card for us. Hippoqual says, you ever think about getting an Amazon affiliate? I use Amazon all the time, and it's net zero for me to swing by and use a link when I should shop. I feel like I had it set up at one point and was earning like $80 a year from it. Anyways, I think that the way to outright... I think we do want the Scries. I think we really, really, really do want the Scries. Thank Malukka Stars. So we want to swing first. I don't care how a block happens. I just want to draw and try to remove threats from the board. Because eventually I just get to play Kiora, Best the Sea God. Oh my god. That's so good. Is it worth adding Castle Vantress in? I don't think so. When can I cast Castle Vantress? When I have 5 total lands out. Castle Vantress and 4 others. So, I mean, I'm comboing off on turn 4 and earlier. Well, I guess we want to hit this one. Alright, this is the scarier one. These things will gain life, but I don't really care terrifically much. Because I can Kiora Best the Sea God, and then play another Kiora Best the Sea God. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. You got it. I can play Kiora Best the Sea God twice, which will, regardless of what they try to do in terms of protection, tap all of their shit. And then I can swing him for a bunch of damage. Okay, I mean, if we draw an untapped land too, we can just Ugin and clear the board. Whoa! This is actually kind of incredible with the amount of Righteous Valkyries out. Is it possible for us to get Alpha struck down? I think I want to leave this one back then. Whew. By the way, let this be a great example of why Kiora Best the Sea God is sick. We still could lose. This could get destroyed. Perfect. Nice. All right. They got us. They got us. Fair and square. Fair and square. They got us. You guys want to hear something funny? We were talking about this yesterday. For any of you that don't know, the card that just owned us. The card that just owned us is, what's her name? Angel. This one, Righteous Valkyrie. It says, as long as you have at least 7 more life than your starting total, creatures you control get +2/+2. When I read this card and crapped all over it, I thought it was as long as you have 7 or more life than your starting total, just this card gets +2/+2. And I looked at that and I was just like, that fucking sucks. Like, what am I gonna work really, really hard to get a single large dude? Oh, I thought it was terrible. I thought it was absolutely horrific. I didn't realize that it was +2/+2 to all of your shit. Which, as you saw... Nice. Oh, I only have to return 1. Oh, sorry. I'm so used to just bending my entire hand. Now, you know, we could be upset. We could cry foul. But that feels to me like it would be... That should have gone on the bottom. Feels to me like it would be unethical, given how... I mean... What we're doing is... Oh! Oh, okay. Okay, good game. You got us. Oh, fuck. Alright, no, by the way, that's how you beat us. So I want to point out probabilities that we calculated and what's important, okay? What the important probabilities are. I said there's a 62% chance that we get to cast this combo by turn 3 or 4. I didn't include any probabilities about Agonizing Remorse or getting counter or any of that shit. I was so convinced that they were doing the same shit we were. Green. Nice. Nice. Hey, is Lockwatts still here? Lockwatts, what has been the frequency with which we have hit the combo by turn 4? Lockwatts has been tracking for us both our win rate, chance of us hitting by turn 4, and it's been super helpful as a reference point. And I want to stress something. Oh, here's your busted ass card right here, man. Maybe mine's a little bit more busted, I don't know. Says, Lockwell says, I'm at 17 out of 22 hits by turn 4. Isn't that astoundingly consistent? Isn't that just brilliant? Isn't that just pure brilliance? Hitman Pie Pie says, hi from Chile. You become my favorite streamer. Soon I will subscribe. Great content. Well, dude, we're happy to have you, and cheers from Chile. I had a lot of practice partners in StarCraft from Chile. Brazilians, Chileans, and Russians. Wonderful to see you from, I would say down south, but, you know, you could be way north or way south with Chile. I live in the Arctic, Sean. But I know there's a lot of people watching that ain't subbed. Have no pressure to ever do that. We just appreciate it when you do. The Cape Saw content free. So by the way, this is the broken combo. Like, I know that what I'm doing is literally utter comical bullshit, but the idea is that this, exile the top 4 cards of your library until the end of your turn. You may play those cards. And then this one, Shepherd of the Flock, you can return it back to your hand on turn 2. Let's get Ugin and just end it, huh? Esika gets Esika. Good frequency of the time. One of those will get banned most likely. I actually think that this is the new best card draw on Standard, is this card. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I've been seeing Yorion lists run red to just run 4 Showdown to the Skalds and flicker it. It's just way, way too good. I mean, it's stupidly easy to cast. It's just like 1 red, 1 white. I mean, it's so good. Hey, Hitman Pipeline says, hey, Sean, now I'm gifted. Yeah, welcome. You've been gifted this entire time, Hitman. Yeah, this card is some good shit. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, nice. Giant Killer. Giant Killer for 1. Keep putting counters on things. It's actually kind of hilarious. We're in a situation where we kind of need to hit an Ugin from Prismatic Bridge. Thoughtful Silence, if you want the math of this deck, go to the very start of the stream. I do a full mathematical breakdown of all the probabilities, and it's good shit. It is good shit. All the Skyclaves. Alright, so at this point in time, we just want to prevent as much damage as humanly possible. Because this is actually a scary board. And the second and third chapter of Showdown is to put counters on stuff. Ugin 1 time. Ooh, shit. Like another Esika now, or any creature that I can cast. No to this. We might literally just lose straight up. This is incredible. Yeah, I think that's game for us because we're going to be at 19, and this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, so that's lethal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, that's just incredible. That is just an incredible deck. There's 1. Needs 4 counters to beat us. So this will give enough mana to cast. So that's spell 1, spell 2, spell 3, spell 4, and there's all the mana right there. So our opponent actually beats us there. Our opponent missed lethal. Okay, whatever. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. 5 counters, right? Yeah, 4 or 5 is. They have infinite mana. But that's okay. That's okay. Excuse me. That is all right. Again, we didn't make this deck because it has a 90% win rate because we can outplay every single human on the meta, Alright. This is heavily leveraging our combo, which sometimes when we don't hit, or sometimes when we do hit, we lose anyways. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, if it's Agonizing Remorse, we might be done for. Oh, if this is Agonizing Remorse turn 2. Oh, it's just a Croxa. Pay. Confirm. Let's see what we do. Oh, skipping past 2 Stonecoil Serpents to hit a Genesis Ultimatum. Let's get this and this and this and this and this out of there. Bam.
I come bearing the wisdom.
Alright. Funny story, next turn we get to play Prismatic Bridge, which is a very good card.
Greatest creation.
You know, we had to give a lot of credit to that Showdown of the Skalds deck. Wow, this is a really good deck, this Naya Landfall Skald stuff. And then I just do this shit, right? So really, who's the one who's having the better time? We congratulate the people that will have less fun than we will. Oh, you made a legit straight-up Naya deck? You did such a good job. Electric Hoodie says, I can't believe it every time I see it. Well, Saved Sinner, with a Y, is trying to figure out whether he wants to concede. And he does, with a Y. Alright. Bobicus is best MTG streamer. Thanks, Bobicus. It's awfully kind of you to say. So if you do me a favor, and put no more than 3 emotes, please. If you want me to keep going, show me green. If you want me to stop, switch decks, show me red. Literally not a single red. Af Gandalf is like, oh, I'd like to switch. Oh, Shadow Power, Lloyd Smith, Cred, Chaos Pals. Alright, it looks like the vote is, hey, Sean, keep doing that. Confirm 0. Thanks, everyone. Thanks. It's good to get this kind of feedback. It's good to get this kind of feedback. Now let's Genesis Ultimatum out of World Tree. More of the same goodness.
Always consider the consequences.
Well, I do enjoy it, but I want to see some new Jank. Yeah, this is. I was right about cresting to the point where, you know, if we have about a let's see, if we have a 60% win rate, if we have a 60% win rate, every 10 games we win 2 pips. And we're 4 pips away, so that means it should take about 20 games of playing at a 60% win rate for us to win with this deck. This is the math stream, right? If you want to know the math behind shit, don't go anywhere. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that I mathed the fuck out of this? And we just got there? Can I just take a moment to appreciate that, like, I just did some math to show that with insane frequency, if you mulligan to a Tibalt's Trickery, then you need Stonecoil Serpent. And it feels so good. It feels so good to just be so mathematical. All right, now this is a little bit dangerous because we do see some uh-oh. Please, no! I was like, I hope my opponent. Oh well, this is some bullshit. I hope so badly my opponent is doing the same thing that I am. No, but they're trying to do some efficient riddle form nonsense. Let's see what we get. All right, Prismatic Bridge. It's pretty good. Alright. I mean, the world wants me to win at this point. Why does it skip past the Kraken? Oh, you mean this one? Tibalt's Trickery, a subtle one, is that it randomly mills some cards right at the start. It randomly mills some. This is to prevent me from doing something like putting a bullshit card on the top of my deck and guaranteeing that I could cast it with this. Why keep it with the bridge in play? Because we're up against a blue deck, so there's a reasonable probability that we, that this shit happens. So we want to have a card that's either going to the bottom anyways, or occasionally is an even better target for our Tibalt's Trickery shenanigans. Ooh, yeah. I love that it literally any question that's asked, the players do what needs to be done to allow me to provide a really clear, clean example. Still got a pair of Trickeries in the deck. 2 out of 45. It's quite a lot when we have all these scries. Royal Silence. Bandolier says, hey Dan, I'm newish to MTG, so I'm really not seeing your thought process for your scries after getting the combo. I mean, really, the basic statement is... Oh, nice. No blocks, that's fine. You got it. So we're just gonna smash the Royal Silence in the face. I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm looking for one of two things. I'm looking for land and other sets of my combo pieces. So like a Stonecoil Serpent, I don't really want that much because I want the other half of it. So I want land to be able to cast my big stuff, but more often I want the combo piece. Bagotok says, I just used my medical school loans to buy 1,000 shares of AMC, AMA. I mean, no offense, but if I... It's an LOL, I kid. Oh, okay, because here's what I was going to say, and I'll say this sincerely anyways. Only bet with money you're totally cool losing. Phoenix a Dad Ash. It resolves. So it looks like Messi Mendeleev is going to try to bounce the Dream Trawler. Oops. Now, because this is hexproof, this Brazen Borrow actually goes to the graveyard. This is good because it has reach. Bago says, Sean, I'm smooth brain, but I still got into med school. Come on. Okay, no, I mean... I actually, for a number of years, played a lot of poker, and just saw a lot of terrible degeneracy. Because a lot of times when people talk about being degenerate, it's sort of recreational, like, I'm such a degenerate. I stayed up till 4 in the morning watching TV, and I ate so many nachos. It's just like, that's not really degeneracy. That's like... It's like whatever. But I knew people that like, you know, took out like 70,000 in student loans and then went and just lost all of it playing poker. And would go to friends and be like, dude, I really need to borrow $50,000 so I can run it back up. Trust me. And then their friend would, like, loan him 50K, and then they'd lose that, too. And these are not, like, stories. Like, I knew people that did this.
For the realm.
And I'm changing some details for the sake of, like, privacy and stuff. First strike, huh? No blocks. I don't know, it's stuff like that that's just kind of like, ugh. I always get a little bit concerned whenever I hear. I think this is the play here. I always get a little concerned, even if someone's like making a joke and just making light of something, you know. I just want to be like, is everything really going okay? You know, one of those sorts of things.
Back to training?
I want to make sure y'all doing okay. So I did that attack because if my opponent had, say, a shock, and was able to, say, shock this Dream Trawler, this would bring the Riddle form back, which would then be able to block. So if I just swung with the Dream Trawler and Esika, it's possible that my opponent could have blocked with the Riddle form and prevented me from killing the Royal Scions, which is actually a pretty substantial amount of damage. So I wanted to swing with this and this and this, because if my opponent blocks this, I'm getting through for 6 anyways. And then now after this, now I can lead back the Stonecoil. So that was like a defensive attack. Is that Cece? Oh, hi, Cece. Oh, shit, my dog's coming in. My little stinky doggy. He's gonna get a bath tomorrow's coming on in. Oh, my little stinky princess. So we're in good grand shape. She's coming, she's gonna hang out with Dad. Oh, here, please, take these car keys. Cece. Hey, little friend. Oh, come here. Come here. Come on. Come on, I'm gonna pick you up. Oh, yeah. Oh, she's going, oof. Oh, guess who's being a real asshole today? It's me. Oh, I love explaining card game stuff to my dog. Are you knocking stuff over? Oh, okay. Don't worry. It's just a new Xbox. Okay, come here. Don't sit down. Okay. Jesus. I don't have enough leverage at that position. What a good girl. Oh, yes. Oh, big pats. I got a robust brown dog. X equals 3. Oh, I love my dog. My dog is so cool. She loves attention. Violence. All right, 4 pips. Now, we need to play an average 20 games. Average 20 games if we want to be able to pull off this win. Not it. That'll do. This is good. 3 scries? Oof. Oh, yeah. What did Serpent live? So, Ugin says to get rid of the colorful cards, not the colorless cards. Okay, so we gotten to see 1 cards, 2 cards, and we get to see 3 cards. Probability of us being able to draw all the good stuff is very high. Mono blue foretell, okay. There's... Yeah, I mean, we gotta keep going. We're looking for combos. What's the math to get to stars with a 75% win rate? Asking for reasons. If we're at a 75% win rate, man, that is so funny. But let's do the math. So, if we have a 75% win rate, let's see here. It means every 20 games. Well, this isn't going to resolve. This is a counter spell or a card draw spell. I actually played this Is It Flash deck. This is Luis Scott Vargas's Is It Flash deck. This is tricky. This is tricky. So anyways, if we played 20 games, we would win 15 and lose 5. That's a 75% win rate. Playing this out very cautiously. I'm waiting for Blue Ga Knights to just take their sweet time. So if every 20 games we won 15 and lost 5, means every 20 games we get 10 stars, 10 more pips. So that means on average, every 2 games we should get 1 star. So if we want to get a 75% win rate, we have 4 pips. 4 times 2 is 8. Should take 8 attempts. Alright. This deck has a shitload of counters. We're just waiting for their opponent to mess up. That's how I would do the math. We just get countered, we concede. Now, my opponent is giving us a window, because if we get a Koma, then our opponent can't counter that. We got it. I think that Is It Flash deck is spectacular. If we have a 75% win rate, we would need to play 10 games in order to win. 10 games in order to get 5 pips. Ish. Something feels wrong about my math. Something feels very weird about my math. I'm thinking. Alright. Have the combo in the opening hand. Yeah, that's... I mean, I think my math is correct. We should get 1 pip every 2 games with a 75% win rate. Where was the math string? Counterspell, instant loss. Instant loss. Counterspells, instant loss. Instant loss. Oh my god, we didn't get there. Lockwatts, write it down. Wait, why do we add Turntimber? Increases the probability of the nut draw. Well, things just got a little spicy. Now this is actually hilarious. We can actually compute that. If you have there's 12 good creatures in 7. Well, I'm doing this. 12 good creatures and actually, I mean, that's just like so comically low. You know, we're just conceding. We're min-maxing on time now. Why don't you Seagate Restoration instead of Turntimber? Because Seagate Restoration doesn't do anything on the board. It just draws us cards. What about opt instead of the Crypt? It lets you dig better. Is there another good 1-mana spell? Well, all right. All right. Now, remember, there's a 92% chance to have it between mulligans 1 and 5. Even less if I go all the way to 6. 1 minus 0.6 to the 6th power. That would be a 95% chance. It would be a 95% chance. We did not get there. We did not get there. What about a Wishclaw Talisman? I don't think the Wishclaw Talisman works. Because the Wishclaw Talisman, the point of that would be to try to get one of our combo pieces. But the Wishclaw Talisman would itself be a combo piece. Oh, hey, that's actually helpful for us. Tormod's Crypt, nice. Now we can't hit a Tormod's Crypt when we say X equals 0. Confirm. This is good stuff. Hi, Marie. One time. Oh, shit. Woo! Now, Lockwatts was noting that we were hitting our combo higher than the expected 60% of the time. We were hitting it higher than the expected 60% of the time. Well, so what are we at? Yeah, statistics have come to claim their dues. Yeah, you're right, Ruben. You're correct, Mundo. So I think if we don't draw our combo here, we're dead, but that's okay. Because again, we should be hitting 60% of the time, but we were hitting around 70-75% of the time. Running into the reversion to the mean, it's true. Alright, we lost. And by the way, so I want to take a moment to point to something incredibly fucking important. Ignore this deck for a moment. Ignore the fact that we're a weird deck, and we'll just call it a deck with a win rate. An arbitrary black box of a deck, and all you know is the win rate. We expect to pop off 62% of the time. Lockwatts has been tracking us. We've been hitting 70% of the time. We've actually been doing above expectation, right? We've been doing above expectation, okay? So this means that even as we are losing, amazingly, even as we are losing, we're just generally approaching that 60% hit rate. So we're actually doing pretty good. Now, this is different than the win rate of the deck, because if I hit, I don't necessarily win. And if I whiff, I don't necessarily lose. These are all true statements. And so, as an observer of my chat, as a participant who is just playing the deck, looking at what chat was saying, I mean, if you rewind an hour ago when we were pretty much just on a win streak, we'd won maybe 5-6 games in a row. Tons of comments about, how do I get this deck? Is there a deck list anywhere? Oh my god, this deck is amazing. Oh, Dana, I'm using all my wild cards to fucking get this deck going, right? Because we were doing shit like this. Which we might miss Uh-oh. This is actually so funny. And now that I've lost maybe 4 or 5 games in a row to some funny whiffs and stuff like that, I'm seeing a lot of like, hey, what about this card? What about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? Kind of things. Now let me just do, just count really fast. This is blue, 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 green, green, red, red, huh? I think this is still going to be the better play here. We hit an Ugin, we just win. Still think this is the better play. Ugh, kind of helps. We'll have to take this next turn. And I say this, I bring up this contrast between when I'm win streaking and everyone's like, holy shit, this deck's amazing, where do I get it? Versus, here's a change, here's a change, here's a change, here's a change. Because I feel like it represents a mistake that a lot of people will make when they're looking at probabilities of things. Which is, dude, the deck's working. It's at a 60% win rate. A 60% win rate is insane. That's good. Play forever. Don't change, just play forever and gobble up your wins. There's no such thing as the elusive 100% win rate deck, except for Omnath decks. Fuck. I'll tap everything I see. Now, a game like Dota or StarCraft, these are games where it does make a lot of sense to try to constantly make changes, constantly improve stuff like this, but you can be in a situation where you're actually doing it all great. Oh, that's a fucking filthy good one. Hell yeah, this is it. This card is so insanely good. This is just the nuts, man. I love this card. I love Kiora Best of Sea God. It just slows the game down so much. And so, I would encourage many of you, if you had a deck that you liked, and then you're starting to not like it, before you do anything at all in terms of the changes, there's sometimes some obvious problems. Here's an example of an obvious problem. Here's a card that I've never cast. I literally have never cast it. And I don't mean I've cast it twice out of 10 games. I mean, I've never cast it. Alright? Then you can cut that. That seems like totally fine. But when you're looking at your deck and you're seeing that there's problems, first identify if you have a negative win rate at all. Negative being lower than 50%. I really have to use the restroom really fast. I'm going to have to jump over my little princess. Hi, what a good girl. Oh my god, my dog has a droopy, sad face. Whenever I say her name, her little tiny tail goes thump, 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 thump. It just starts thumping. Oh, what a good dog. What a good girl. So I will note, I am, because some people are making suggestions that are actually totally acceptable suggestions about, would this maybe bump the win rate up a little more? For instance, here's a suggestion that has come up a few times. Hey, Sean. Turntimber Symbiosis is a land. I don't think you need as many red sources. Maybe you could cut some of those red sources and replace 2 of them with Turntimber Symbiosis. And I actually think that that's reasonable. Well, I'm not 100% on that. But then there's other types of things where it's like, hey, you know, if I, for instance, if I cast and whiff this, it's easy to be like, well, maybe there's a sweeper that we should put in. Oh, fuck. Yeah, dude. Oh, dude. Dude, yes. Oh, yeah, look at this. Bam, there it is. I'm gonna use the restroom after this game. This is some good stuff. The gin. And again, one of the unforeseen benefits, disregarded in my probabilistic calculations, is that Stonecoil Serpent's just a rad 5/5. You know what I mean? It's one rad card. Okay. So this sends my opponent down. Oh, this is if I don't control human. Okay. I think this seems like a good attack. Gotta... Yeah. Exile effects and white are really good against us. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love you, little friend. We're back up again. If all we do today is hit diamond with this trash, it will have been a good day. I'm going to use the restroom. It shouldn't take me very long. Let me go ahead and fire the deck list up here. You can take a look all you want. Let me actually pull the... like this. And it organizes them alphabetically. Okay. Alright, we got it. Say again, miss what you said? Yeah, I was asking how are we doing in terms of our numbers, Lock Watts? How are we doing? Lock Watts has been amazing about keeping track of the numbers. We're against Beppe. Hey, Beppe. Hey man, Pie says, Sean, what is the normal win ratio on a deck to call it successful? I would say 55-ish% is just a killer. Is an absolute killer deck. Ooh, Dream Trawler gets mono red. Yes, please. Lock Watt says 23 out of 33 hits by turn 4 and a 22 out of 33 game win rate. Hey, Beppe. We don't block. Blocking is a trap. Cycles are really good. I kind of wanted to play the Triome instead of saving it to cycle. Oh, that axe is getting so hard in that forge right now. We are running some risks. There are some pickleful pains going on. This looks like a good example of a deck that we should probably lose to, because I think the damage output of an Ember Cleave is just too high. So let's see, this is 8, 8, and 5. It's actually 13. But if the Ember Cleave moves over to the Annex, that would be 12 and 3. 12 and 3 is 15. Okay, so let's... I'm going to put full control on. think this actually does give us the steps. I actually think that this health might be relevant. Let's do this. Oh, my opponent didn't switch. That's actually very, very good. We do suspect that our opponent has an Infuriate or some sort of buff card. Yeah. Okay. And then Bone Crusher. Hilariously, this is one of the slightly worse cards against Mono Red compared to, well, obviously an Ugin. But like Koma and Kiora. Look at this. Looks like our opponent had a number of ways to get lethal and chose the safest one, which I think is smart. Alright, continuing the grind. Alright. Pumping would have been lethal. It's one of those things where my opponent has a lot of ways to lethal. Does it try to shoot me in the face? Does it try to, like, buff a creature? Does any number of different... Yes. Any number of different outcomes are fine. But I think that saving and doing the Royal Eruption is the best play. Croxa, please. Please, not an Agonizing Remorse. Oh, thank God. That was close. It's the closest we've ever come to death. Alright, we're doing drafting today. It's so much fun. I actually haven't drafted at all. Aquat says, also makes sense that the win rate and hit rate decrease over time as you rank up and run into people who are more skilled. That shouldn't affect the hit rate, it should affect the win rate, though. We want to cast the Tormod's Crypt because we have 2 Stonecoil Serpents in the hand, thereby meaning that we only have 5 bad cards that we can hit in the deck. Ooh. This is one of the maybe not so good situations. Again, black does own us. Heartless Act and we lose our poor Koma. Yeah. Yeah. We might be switching after a great run. Okay. I'll just chill. Lockwood says higher ranks won't have more hand hate or counters. That is why I thought it would affect hit rate. Oh, when you said hit rate, I thought that what you meant is if I cast Tormods and counter it, what is the rate of hitting something good versus screwing up and hitting a Stonecoil? That hit rate shouldn't be affected. Let's slow this down. Which is different from a, did I get the combo off at all before turn 4? Either because my opponent disrupted it or because of all these things. You know, that's which is a different kind of hit. So it depends on which one you made. Fine. Oh, it's fucking multicolored. Oh, shit, yeah. Let's go. Protection from multicolor. Fuck you. Yeah, so, like, if people have more disruption, then yeah, absolutely that will decrease our probability of getting gas. Copperkin says, do you believe it's better to play 2 or 3 color decks? I think that, broadly speaking, that question doesn't really mean anything. It's that multicolored decks have trade-offs for being multicolored. Ugh. So we need land. Oh, that's kind of sad. Yeah, so it's less about good or bad. I mean, like, there's been situations where the monocolor decks are just way better than the 3-color decks. There's been situations where the aggro decks are freaking 4-color, man. And it's just insanity in the world. Pass the turn. All right, let's take a peek at. Damn, that's the best possible one to have on the top. Oh my god, that's the best possible one to have on the top. Holy shit. Depending on what great Anton casts, I might actually Tibalt's Trickery it. That's what's this deck got me from Diamond 4 to Diamond 1. Dude, yeah, it's good. Totally fine. So we're going to play Kiora Best of Sea God first. Genesis Ultimatum is obviously the haymaker, but this guarantees that I have a blocker for the Bone Crusher. Alright, I have lied to all of you. I have lied to all of you. Alright. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna treat this a little bit like Arena. Treat this a little bit like a little Arena draft. Once we hit 3 losses, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop at 3 losses. Can we get to 6 wins before we hit 3 losses, you know? Or I guess it would be 6 more wins than losses before we hit 3 losses. Okay. 3 losses starting now? Yes. You know, I probably suppose that the correct statement was... Alright, there's 1. Alright, that was a 5% chance to happen. Which is pretty common if you think about it. 5% sounds small, but 5% is a chance of hitting a 1 on a d20. And, you know, if you don't like critical hits, critical misses, yeah, what can you do? Got him. A bomb still went off. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, at the very least, and Lock Watts has been kindly keeping track of our win rate so far. Lock Watts, what are we at again? We just hit some losses. Oh, dude. Mono White, we should have a very good win rate against this. Ooh, you love to see it. 22 out of 37 presently. Oof. Ow, my bones. Easy wins. 3 out of 38, baby. We want the ultimatums in the deck if you're running a turn 2 combo coming up. I mean, we had an ultimatum right there. Down to 60% win rate. Look, perfect. We stop if we lose 3. Alright, great. Oh my god. It's McLunky Culkin. It's McLunky Culkin. I know McLunky Culkin. McLunky Culkin was running a dog's deck. We played McClunky Culkin yesterday. Or not a dog's deck, it's a cat's deck, isn't it? Alright, so. Alright, well, let's see if we can maybe get some more juice in here. That seems fine. McClunky beat us. See, McClunky has a bunch of cats that, like, whenever they deal combat damage to me, it destroys an enchantment, and we got Prismatic Bridge off Tibalt's Trickery. Alright, no. That's perfectly fine play. Alright. Oh, yeah. Oh, feels good.
Beyond perception.
Oh, yeah. Was it a cat dog deck? I think it was a cat deck. It was just literally a cat deck. Okay. Well, so far so good. We're stopping if we get to 3 losses. It's true. Not it. McClunky Culkin says that was my fault for not playing cats. Welcome back, McClunky Culkin. Good to see you. Oh, this is so good, Bob. Because this is a gambler's version of MTG, and I love it. It really is. It really is. It's fantastic. It's just wonderful. It's a thing of beauty. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh. That's not it. No, this is nearly it. Return the pricey stuff. Sean's stuff to the bottom. And there we go. Now remember, if we have a Tibalt's Trickery, there is a 16% chance of also having the combo in the hand. If we don't do that, there's about a 65% chance. Oh, fuck yeah. There's about a 65% chance of seeing it in 5 or 6 cards. And you might say, but when can you get to draw 5 or 6? But once again, scrying lets us see more than that. So, our opponent has 1 1/1 and 1 mountain. Alright, good. These games are good. It appears to be working rather well. My goal is to get Tibalt's Trickery banned. Gel Ocean says there's no better feeling seeing mono red being blown out of the water on turn 2. Yeah, you know, there is something sort of magical where it feels emotionally important to shit on mono red aggro players. Like, there's something about that that feels really righteous. All right, let's go ahead and mulligan. It's mulligan, 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 mulligan. Got it. Return 5 cards. All right, you got it. You might be going, what the fuck? How the fuck can you ever do this? Like, well, can we get a land on the top? You betcha. Alright, it's my turn. Alright, Mulligan to 2 and hit the combo. Now, we might whiff. We might whiff. We might completely whiff. Oh, shit! Okay, get me out of this fucking game. Damn it all to hell. That would have been incredibly cool. That would have been incredibly cool. Alright, we lost twice. Damn it all. Alright. Now, you know what's really funny about that? Once I had that hand, and I was able to cast that, remember, there's about an 80% chance that we hit some big shit, right? Esper, I don't think we need Esper. I mean, I'm going first. Pretty high probabilities on our side. I think blue-white is just gonna be the goods here. I think blue-white is just gonna be the goods. Downey says, is there any way I can suggest a deck for Dana to play? You just say it out loud. You pitch to me. You don't link them. You don't. Linkers are for stinkers. Alright, this is... What's Sweet Justice? Pay, confirm. Talk about it a little bit, and then if we're interested in it, we try to do a little linkeroni. Ah, yes, there we go. This is... Now, Lock Watts, we're going to win this game. Just mark the W for this. If you would do me the wonderful honor, Lock Watts, of producing some statistics for us, because we began this with a deep statistical... Well, not that deep. It was fucking like 3 minutes. But a statistical analysis period of the frequency of hitting big with the Trickery combo, the frequency of even getting it at all. I also need a break. I haven't stood up and, like, walked around in, like, a few hours. Oh, nice. You got 2-3 right there. That's pretty cool. Wow, wow. If you think I'm not going to be taking their land, you're sorely mistaken. That's my Castle Embereth right now. So I have a deck. Oni says I have a deck put together a while ago, back during M20. It's now for historic. I call it Azorius Tempo. Oh, interesting. I mean, like right now, I am kind of like a standard bear. Did you get cords for standing desks? Setting them up this weekend. That's just pure fun. This is the perfect final game. I love this shit. I actually will take this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew it was going to be a good one, dude. Final stats, 29 out of 43 times we hit the combo by turn 4. 26 out of 43. 1 games. I stopped counting total combos, but you're averaging about 1 per game, consistently around 35 games. Yeah, let's check this out. This is 29 divided by 43 is... 29 out of 43 means that in 67% of our games we managed to bank a combo that hit big. And then our win rate for the day was 60% even. Beautiful.